So Suikoden 3 is now officially released on the European PlayStation networks. That's awesome news, as fans like myself who were stuck in the PAL territory never got to experience the third game. We got Suikoden 1 and 2 on PlayStation, which are absolutely fantastic games, and then we got Suikoden 4, Tactics and Part 5 on the PlayStation 2, but we never officially got a Suikoden 3. That was never released outside of Japan and America, which never made much sense to me and was really sad and was really annoying, but hey, we got that game now. Cool. I know they went on to do the Suikoden series. I think it's on the Nintendo DS, but I've never paid much attention to that series, so I don't know much about it, so I best stop talking about it because I have no experience in it. But Suikoden is a fantastic RPG series. It's 108 stars. It's really, really fun. You got 108 characters. That's not all playable characters, but you got to get them. You collect 108 stars. All these games follow this formula. You unlock something special in the ending, the true ending, the true outcome of events, and they're fun. My favorite Suikoden is definitely Part 2. That's an absolutely magnificent game. It's one of the best RPGs, JRPGs there is for PlayStation in general. Love that game, absolutely love it. And I love Part 1, Part 4. I enjoy the hell out of Part 5. Hi Kurt, if you're watching. And Suikoden Tactics, which is, it's like this spin-off strategy game which takes place after the fourth one. It's a hit or miss. It's not a bad game, it's just one that isn't needed. So, people wanted a Suikoden 6 for a while. Well, some people, and they've asked, and there's been rumours, and every now and again on good old Wikipedia, because that's always a good place to get information from, a Suikoden 6 will pop up on their page saying, it's been announced! And it hasn't. Of course not. But now, all this stuff with Konami, they're going to cell phone games. They've really gone downhill. And I don't want to turn this video into a Konami bash video because everyone left, right and centre is doing that, and rightfully so. I do agree with what they are saying. Breathe. But what's going to happen with Suikoden 6? The Suikoden franchise in general, rather, it's looking very bleak at the moment, isn't it? I don't think there's going to be Suikoden games. And I was joking around on Facebook with Kurt, and I said, I can't remember the conversation word for word, and he brought up the point of, if Konami does release a Suikoden 6, it's probably going to be you have to pay for every character. I laughed at that, and then I stopped and really thought about it, and I thought, you know what, that is not far from the truth. We have Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, which is due out next month. That's having goddamn microtransactions. That's worse than DLC, and I don't like DLC. I've been guilty of buying DLC, and I want to slap myself for it. But microtransactions, especially for a game you pay for, is really bad. And I'm thinking, Suikoden 6, if Konami did this, they could do microtransaction. You pay $1 or $2 for every character you want to get, and then you collect the 108 stars. That way you pay $1, $2 for a runestone. If you don't know what a runestone is, that's how you get magic in the game. Or you pay $1 and $2 for battle tactics, when you do your little skirmish missions. And then I was thinking, the Suikoden games we've got, 1 through 5 in Tactics. Keep in mind, I have not played the ones on Nintendo DS, so I do not have an opinion on them. They're all good. I think the one I like the least, I don't hate it, is Suikoden 4, but it's still a damn good game. The boat travel's a little slow, that is a legitimate complaint, but it's still a good game. Suikoden 1 and 2, absolutely fantastic. Suikoden 5, I enjoy that. I have yet to play an abysmal Suikoden game. I'm going to be downloading Part 3 soon and playing that, but I don't see it as being terrible because I hear lots of good things about it. I will update you on that when I eventually get around to playing it. But the future Suikoden is looking bleak. Is this a bad thing? Yes and no. Yes, it is a bad thing because I do want a Suikoden 6. There's a lot more that can be done with this series, you know. There's a lot of potential there. There's, you know, you've got this big world and we've only seen small chunks of continents over the span of the 5 games. And I'd like to see more. There's definitely more you can do. This is a series you could keep going for an infinite amount of times. So far it's based over like 150 to 175 years with ample time in between each game. You've got returning characters, mainly in 1 through 5, not including 4, because 4 is 150 years before the first game, though there are some returning characters from the 4th game that turn up in parts 1, 2 and 3. I don't want to talk about that too much because that's spoiler territory. But you know, there is so much more you can do. So yeah, it's kind of bad that the future of Suikoden is now looking bleak. Why is it good? Because Konami doesn't care anymore. Clearly they do not care anymore. After Castlevania, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with them, because they're going to cell phone games and, you know, iPod games and all of that. And they're showing they really do not care. They cancelled Silent Hills, which was a big low blow to a lot of people. I'm actually one of the people in the grey area who doesn't really care, but I can understand why people are upset, and it was a stupid thing to do. Metal Gear Solid 5, microtransactions, you know, and that's their last big title they got planned. After that, who knows? Konami doesn't care. And if you're going to put a game like Suikoden, you've got to put it, you've got to have people who care and respect the game, are going to give the best product they can. You know, it deserves that respect. And Suikoden 6, if it's going to be made by Konami, it's not going to happen, not the way things are now. So that's why it's probably a good thing that the future's looking bleak, because there's not going to be a game that will be released that will, you know, not respect the series, not respect the fans, not respect the story. You know, that's, in a way, is a good thing. It is a good thing. If they're going to do another Suikoden, they've got, another company's got to come in. They've got to put it in the hands of developers who understand the game, know what people like about it, and will not insult it, and will give us a good game. That's what I want. And a lot of JRPGs have gone downhill, and they're not getting the respect they used to. Games that come to mind are Phantasy Star, the Shining games, which started with Shining Force and Shining in the Darkness, and now they're just, I think they're abysmal, those games. Breath of Fire, Final Fantasy, though Final Fantasy is slightly on the turnaround, but it could still drop in, you know, be this insulting game. Keep coming up with these insulting games. Suikoden, even though its future's grim and it doesn't look like it's going to have a future, we still got solid games, and I've still got to play a game that actually insults the series, disrespects it, and I'm kind of happy with that. To me, that's a good thing. Got the games, yeah, they're great, would love more, but not at the cost of a half-assed product that's going to suck. You want your characters, you got to pay for them. You want your runes, you got to pay for them. You want transport, you got to pay for them. That's something Konami will do now. Disagree with me all you want, but take a look at what they're doing. So, to answer the question, is it bad that Suikoden has a grim future? Yes and no. That is the honest to God answer I can think of. I want more Suikoden games. As a fan, I want more. But on the other side of this coin, it's a good thing, because we do not have a company or a team that could probably respect the series and give us a good quality product. And to have that mindset for something you like says a lot. I'd rather there be no more than we get a bad Suikoden game. That is the God honest truth. There's actually a group on Facebook, and I'm going to post their link down in the description below. So if you're on Facebook, take a look at them. And they're called the Suikoden Revival Movement. Great bunch of people. They update anything Suikoden related. You know, that's how I found out that Suikoden 3 was on PSN. They want more Suikoden games too. I'm a member, I want more Suikoden games, but I don't want it to come at the cost of it being half-assed, disrespected, full of microtransactions, full of downloadable DC. When you buy the game, you're only getting a fraction of the full game and you got to pay for the rest. That would be absolutely bullshit. I'm going to finish this video off here. Suikoden 6, want to see it, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that there's no plans for it to come out at the moment. Not the way things are. Not the state of Konami, not the state of RPGs in general, because they have gone downhill. They have gone downhill. Gonna stop here before I repeat myself. You all take care. This is Diente, signing off.